Okay, uh, good morning. So in a last class we seen what is IAM. What is IAM? It's a identity access management, right? So there we already seen how to create a user, how to create a group, right? And how to add that user to a group, right? And how to give the console access to this user. Okay, how to give the console access? We given the console access to the user and we logged in using that credentials, right? So if you don't know regarding this, just watch my last video. So today we'll create a test user again, and we'll try to give a CLI access now, not a console access. Okay, we'll try to give a CLI access, and how to access the AWS console through the, not a console, AWS through the CLI, that we will see. For that I need a test user, and we need to download the AWS CLI client on my machine. Okay, so through this AWS CLI client I am able to access the AWS. Let's see that with practical. Let's go to the AWS console and search for IAM. Okay, so I am in a IAM only. This is my IAM dashboard. Here you can see there are no users as of now. There are no groups, right? So let's create a user now. So click on a user, create a user. Username I will give as a test user. Okay. So I'm not giving any console access here, so I will not click. Just click on a next, and here I will not attach any policy, and click on a next. So create a user. So simple user I have created already. Okay, so this is my user. Now how to give the CLI access? Just open this user, go to the security credential. Here you have a option. One is the console sign in option, multi-factor authentication you can assign, or you can give the access key and secret key. So this is what the CLI access. Okay, so create an access key. See here, command line interface, right? So how you are using this? Using this user command line interface. Select this one, give the confirmation. Next, if you want to add a tag, you can add a tag or directly create a user. So this is the access key and secret key. Using this access key and secret key, you can log in to the AWS using the CLI. Okay, if you want, you can download this file, CSV file, or you can simply copy these two things to your any notepad or anywhere. Okay, so I will copy this somewhere here. Okay, so here I will copy. This is my access key. See, access key, secret key. This is my secret key. Right, so let's go back, and now you can clear up the screen. So if you click on a user section, one user is there, right? So to log in this user to the CLI, just go to the terminal. Okay, so here I have a terminal, right? So if you are using the Windows machine, then you can go to the CMD, right? Command line interface, and here in a Mac I'm in a terminal. So to download, I told you, so to log in or use the AWS console through the CLI, I need a client, AWS CLI client, right? So for that, go to the browser and search for AWS CLI client. Okay, suppose you search for the AWS CLI download, okay, or install, then you will get the AWS documentation. See, install or update the latest version of AWS CLI. Click on this. So here the detailed steps are given, depend on your OS. Suppose you are working on a Linux OS or a Mac OS or a Windows OS, right? So I'm on a Mac OS, right? So I'll click on this. So GUI installer, if you want to go with the GUI means through the console, these steps are through the command line for all users. So I will go with the command line. Directly copy this one and go to the terminal and run the command. See, it's already there. It's already installed in my case. Okay, it's repeating. Let's see. Okay, so it is asking me the password. If I give the password, then it will be installed. Right, so it is installing. So it is installed successfully. We can check AWS version. Right, so it is installed here. You can get the version here if it is properly installed. So this is the version of my CLI 2.1.4, 2.14.6. Okay, so now I install the AWS CLI client. Now to configure your credential, you need to run a command AWS configure. Right. So it is asking you access key and secret key. So other key was configured earlier. Now I will configure a new user key. That is this key. Copy this one. Go to the terminal and give secret key. This is my secret key. Right. Our default in which user you in each region you want to log in. So I can give that AP South one. I want to be in the Mumbai region, so I will give as a AP South one and JSON format. If you want the output format, you can give as a JSON. Otherwise, let it be. Okay, so I configured it. Suppose you want to get a confirmation about as what user you logged in, just run a command AWS sts get caller identity. Okay, so this command will give you the detail about. So sts get caller identity. So there is a error occurred a token when calling a get caller identity option. The security token included the a request is expired. Okay, I just a minute. Yesterday I cited some other a token. I will remove that. Right, so now I'm getting the detail. Right, so yesterday it was throwing a error because yesterday I was working and I set it some other token there. So now you can get the detail. Get caller identity. So here I logged in as a test user, right? So now I logged in as a test user. Now next, what you want to do here? So you want to get a access on EC2 machine or a S3 bucket, right? So everything is a command line. But here I don't know the commands, right? So one thing, you can browse the commands through the Chrome. Here you can get a list AWS EC2 commands. Okay, if you get a cheat sheet here, then you can use that, right? So I hope this here you have a list of commands. Okay, if you are not able to get the list of command, then I will teach you how to use it here itself, right? So uh, always the commands start with the AWS because it's a AWS console, right? So AWS, so which service you want to use? EC2, right? EC2 help, just run this command. You will get the list of all the commands here. See what you want to do here, right? So I want to get a list of EC2 instances. So for that, describe command is there. So just find out the describe here, describe instance. Okay, so we'll get this. See here, describe instance, right? Or a describe instance type. So using this you can just press the q, come out of that, and remove this help and give that describe instance, right? So it will describe the instances for you. Now it is showing that unauthorized operation means you just created a user and that user is logged in through the CLI, but he don't have any, that user don't have any kind of permission to access the EC2. So you already know that we attach the policy to get the access, right? So go to the console and attach the policy to the user. See, this is the user, right? Get inside. See, here there is no any permission, so add permission. So here you have a attach policy, search for a policy that is EC2 full access. Select this one, add permission. Right now you added the permission to the user, test user. Now again I will go back to the console, again back CLI terminal, and I will try. See, AWS CLI describe instance. See here, I'm getting a list now, right? So same way, if I try to access the any other service like AWS S3 LS, I want to list the buckets, but again there is a access denied because last time I given a policy for a EC2 machine. Suppose you want to access the S3 bucket, then give the S3 bucket policy, S3 full access, right? So next, add permission, so you have a S3 full access. Now you can go here and you can search for AWS S3 LS. So you are able to list the buckets. See, these are the two buckets I have, XYZ bucket and my bucket. This is the date, right? So this is how guys you can give the access. You can use the CLI user to log in as a CLI. Okay. So other than that, we can in a next class or a next video we'll discuss something about how to secure your user credential or how to set the MFA to your user, multi-factor authentication. That video we'll see. Thanks.